What's up, everybody? I know it's been a long time. Once upon a time, I promised that I want to post a weekly video, but now I'm back at the game. So today I want to cover a very important topic because I feel like if I give these tips at every detail that I'm gonna give on this video, it's gonna 10x or skyrocket your results or say your return on investment in every connection or relationship that you're gonna build across your time in your career, outside your career, especially when you're doing networking for a specific purpose. So let's start with it. You've ever struggled to meet people in networking events, even say hi, or maybe you meet someone really important that you really wanted to connect with, but maybe that person ghosted you or you never hear back from there. Let me tell you that you are not alone. Me, myself, have been over 300 events across New Zealand and Colombia, my native home country. And today, I'm going to show you how to connect like a top 1% networker. So, let's start with it. So first, let's forget the idea of networking as a way of taking value from other people. Let's assume that networking is about giving value, building trust, and improving that connection with that individual. What I like to do always is start my combos by adding value, asking genuine questions, seeing how things are done in that place. Let's say I go to Microsoft events, right? I present myself there, good way, good manners, good personal presentation, good grooming, way of dressing, right? Smiling, holding eye contact, and asking people questions, genuine questions about their life or their people, same people. I remember a very famous quote about Dale Carnegie that the man that is genuinely interested in other people is never going to suffer again in life. And that's the quote that I live up to every time I go to networking. And I do try to do it in a natural way. I know that for example, many people in the IT industry are very shy, introvert. And what I would recommend is just listening, being a very good listener, active listening, and asking questions about the life and the career of that person. Especially if it is a very big, interesting person that you want to meet. I'm sure when you have a very good conversation with those people, they're going to remember you forever. And that's another quote that I like to mention that my boss, my mentor, gave me in my current job. And it's that always make them remember you in some way, what it is to the conversation that you have, the way you express yourself, your aura, the vibe, being charming, being funny, being very engaging. Because those things doesn't happen all the time. And the more successful the people that you want to connect with, the more they are used to people bending and saying things that they want to hear instead of showing them their authenticity. A genuine way of connecting and talking with that person. And trust me, that's gonna make the very big difference when you approach people and you do like a follow-up with those connections. Now moving on to the second part is your entry strategy. How are you going to introduce yourself to those people, right? Taking into account the things that I said previously. So if I go to a Microsoft, AWS, Google event, I know there's going to be IT event, right? So in fact, remember that your curiosity is the deal breaker, the icebreaker, where you want to connect with people related to the topic about that meetup, that networking event. So I enter to the room, to the place, the venue, etc. I look up to groups, right? That people is casually chatting, or they're like open or semi-open groups. You have to be very socially calibrated when you approach those people, because you have to set the tone, see how they're interacting, if they're like open to having a chat. Boom, you go in. And as I mentioned before, spark their curiosity. So ask a simple question. What brings you here? What's the most interesting talk that you want to hear tonight? Or even like, you know that if you are in those kiting meetups, those people, of course, 99% of them are going to go in the industry. So I'd like to be charming and inspire curiosity, saying, "Oh, you are very well dressed, blah 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 blah. I guess you are a, let's say, data engineer or data analyst. Is that true?" And from that, I build rapport slowly. Build curiosity, spark curiosity. They start asking me questions back, and then go back and forth until I made the genuine connection. And from there we go on. Moving on to the third part, and as I was mentioning before, it's about the art of the storytelling. Being charming, being engaging, being persuasive, being a good at selling things. Because at the end of the day, we all go to those kind of meetups because we would like to get something out of it. So now the question is, how can we get that thing that we want in a way that benefit both parties, right? Not only the super cloud solutions architect at Microsoft, but also me, you know? You need to find a point in common where you can connect with that person and then go on. And that's why I love storytelling, because I like to tell the company stories that makes people like feel engaged. So they went. You could make a memorable conversation, and they want to keep the relationship going, right? Which means that it's not only this kind of conversation of interaction is just gonna stay only, or is not gonna happen only in Microsoft. It could happen outside. If I kindly ask that person for a coffee, for a dinner, it's a normal chat. And from there, as I previously mentioned, build rapport, see how things go, how can improve this person's life. And there is one big principle that I also want to point it out here, which is always talk in terms of the other people's interest, right? So you know that these business people, what they want to do? They want to find people who can improve their business, right? So that's it. Start the conversation, or see how can you add value to that people's business or life or work, etc., or in a company where they work at, right? Continuing with the fourth part, it's about the secret sauce of all this networking, being charming, being funny, being engaging. And it's the social calibration. And I want to point out this topic, you know, because I feel like it's one of the best and the key ingredients of all this receipt to be a successful networker in any kind of event. And it's reading the room, reading the situation, you know, understanding and seeing if the other person is matching the same kind of energy that you put into the conversation or interaction, right? Because it will happen to you a lot of times that many people will not be engaged in the conversation. And there is no point of like being insisting and persisting and telling jokes when the person is not receptive enough. So you have to kind of read the room and understand when to say goodbye or when to retire from that conversation, or you know, when to be serious, like talking serious about the topic, or when to tell jokes and being casually telling about your life story, being compelling, engaging. That's very important, because not only makes the other person feel comfortable, right, but it also gives the other person that you want to connect with an understanding that you are very socially aware, right? That you're very socially calibrated, that you know how to move between different rooms. And that's gonna be a very the most outstanding thing that any individual can have everywhere in this kind of like meetups. And the fifth And the last, one of the most important parts is about your exit strategy. Leaving a very good impression, right? Anytime you do networking, there's gonna be a point where that conversation, that interaction is gonna end. So, what do you have to do to follow up? Right. I always like to end my conversations with a reason to hang out and have future catch-ups. So I would say, was nice connecting with you, Nick, for example. What about we will go to coffee next time some week and talk about your experience, what you are doing, blah 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 blah. Things that keep the other person engaged and makes the other person be and makes the other person be eager to hang out with you in future occasions. Remember, it's about authenticity, being genuine, and offering value first. So, what do you do for that? Do the follow up, right? Tell the other person that you like to have coffee chat, for example. Ask them very kindly for the LinkedIn. Maybe next day send a follow up message. You don't wanna. And this is the thing that I always tell people that you don't want to be intense. You don't want to be like a pushover for that. Always be cool, calm, and collected, right? That's why if you're going 2 hours, 3 hours later after the interaction, or even the next day, send a follow-up message. And from there, go on. See if you match the energy of that person. And from there, schedule a catch-up and have a catch-up in person. Because for me, and I would say for 99% of those business, very good corporate people, there's no such thing as being authentic. Understanding the other people, their gestures, their facial expression, and their body language. No such thing as compared to having a virtual meeting. It's very different. When we want to do a follow up and catch up with them in person. In conclusion, networking isn't about luck. It's a skill that you master over time, over practicing, effort. Even I like to apply the iteration, and then from there, seeing my results, my mistakes, and let continue improving till next time. On and on and on. So, by shifting your mindset, living with value, and following up like a pro, I'm sure and I guarantee that you're going to become a top 1% LinkedIn connector. And everyone wants to catch up with you, wants to get to know you better, right? The people are going to feel pleased to be around you because you become that person. It's very sociable, very calibrated, right? Very genuine, right? As I mentioned before, well dressed, good grooming, personal presentation. And most importantly, you are starting your interactions by adding value to that person's life compared to 99% of people that are just value takers. I know this video has helped you so far, and it will in the long term. Don't forget to give a like, drop a comment, share it over your network, and just connect. If you're keen on having a chat with me and teaching you about how to break down these networking scenarios, be a pro in it, be better, more in deep. Let's connect and have a chat and see how it goes. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next videos.